Hello everyone, this is Terry, and as you can see, this is not World of Warships. I figured, since this is a game that I've been playing for quite a bit recently, especially when I was on holiday and didn't have an internet connection, or not fast enough to actually play World of Warships, I'll give you a little bit of an overview, and just show you what this is about, and maybe this is something that you enjoy. And if you want to see more, then you can let me know and I can do some more videos about it. But I'll just show you around and give you a bit of an idea of what I'm doing here. This thing is it's a trading card game, and if you've played trading card games like, say, Magic the Gathering before, then you know how they work. They can be relatively intricate. There can be a large amount of strategies involved, and these kind of things interest me. So this thing is called World War II trading card game, which is not an extremely imaginative name, but it's basically Magic the Gathering with tanks and ships and other kind of things. So how does this work? Well, you obviously have decks, right? So we'll have a quick look here. I have a deck. I have actually 3 decks. So let's look at the first deck. And in this deck, I have a bunch of cards. And each of these cards has an attack, which is the left value. It has a health, which is the right value, and all these cards can be promoted twice up to their final stage, and their power increases when they do this. Aside from that, these cards have particular capabilities. And again, if you've ever played Magic the Gathering, you kind of know how this works. Each card has a certain capability, and you can get really powerful chain effects if you combine them correctly and do kind of things that buff each other and stuff like that. So aside from the cards, we obviously have factions. So we've got the Germans. This is World War II, so we've got the evil Germans. We've got the Americans, the Soviets, the Japanese, and the British. And they all kind of have slightly different... They obviously all have different cards, right? And they all have slightly different, let me say, specialities. So the Germans are very good at doing damage to the enemy player and not being blockable. Blocking and attacking, I'll get to that. But again, if you've ever seen Magic the Gathering, it's kind of similar. The Americans as well are very good at dealing out massive amounts of damage. The Soviets are very good at defending. The Japanese are very good at healing. And the British are very good at debuffs, so like taking away capability of the other player. So these decks have 30 cards in them, and you can have 3 kinds of cards. So you can have unit cards, which then split up into ships, planes, infantry, and armored. And then you can have equipment cards. Each unit has 2 equipment slots. And these equipment cards give your unit additional abilities, and they increase their power and their health. And then you can have the third kind is a sort of action card that you can play, and that does things like damage the enemy player, damage a card, heal a card, all these kind of things. So you can compose your deck as you see fit, but you only get 30 cards per deck. And then you have multiple kind of play styles. There's a campaign, which has some form of not very historic background mission to it, but at least it kind of looks nice. So there's a campaign that gets increasingly more difficult that you play with your own deck. There's a PvP mode where you can play online against other people with your own decks. And there's a missions mode, which has predefined decks for historic missions. And there's a raid mode, which is some form of boss kind of feature that you can either play in a clan or you can play by yourself. There are 3 levels of difficulty, so you can play the campaign 3 times basically with increasing difficulty. And there's a currency, which is gold bars, which you see up in the upper right corner up here. So these things, these you can use to buy more cards. Cards come in packs, and again, this is like trading card games. You buy packs blind, you don't know what you're getting. Or you can, if you have a lot of cards of one kind, you can craft them into the next better kind. So this is also a thing. There are common cards, there are rare cards, There are uncommon cards, there are elite cards, there are legendary cards, and I think there are diamond cards. I have no idea how to get those, but so far I think I've been playing this for a fair amount of time, and I think at this point have 2 legendary cards. So I can quickly show you that. Let's get back to the deck. And then my second deck here, you see these orange ones, like these guys? These are legendary cards. So I've got 2 of them so far. And they are increasingly incredibly powerful. But it takes quite a while. And there is a crap load of cards. I mean, if you just go through that, I think I have a way. Let me see. There should be a way of filtering that such that I see all kinds of cards. Now I can't quite figure it out right now, but there should be a way to do that. So there's a huge amount of cards. I'm pretty sure I haven't seen a half of them by now. So there's incredibly large amounts. So what can you do aside from building your deck and playing these kind of things? So, well, let me show you. Let's play a game. So we're gonna go over and play one of the historic missions. And these have scenarios which are relatively close to the actual things that happened. We're gonna play the Battle of Gazala? I have no idea. But this is part of the North Africa campaign, I think. So it's gonna be desert warfare. We're gonna play on easy because I don't have enough gold to spend on things here. And as you can see, we're playing a German deck against a British deck. And if we get 3 battles, if we win, we get between 30 and 40 gold, and we get 1 or 2 cards out of the whole thing as our reward. So let's do this. Yep, these ones you actually have to play online. So this is our deck. We've got two legendary cards, we've got a bunch of elite cards, and then we've got a bunch of normal cards. I'm not going to go through the individual cards quite yet, but we get to that when we actually play. So let's play. Now here, there we go. Now here we have our, this is turn-based, so there's no timer or anything on these things. Unless you're playing PvP, then you actually have, I think, a minute or so to play your turn, because otherwise you could just sit there forever. So, well, we got a couple cards here, right? So, for example, this guy. Let's look at this. It's a Fliegerdivision, so parachutes. And they have an attack of 5, they have a health of 3, and they have this little parachute symbol because they have an ability that allows them to deploy directly to the front line. So what does that mean? Let's try that out. So we're going to deploy these guys in the front line, and you see there are 6 slots on the field where I can deploy my cards. Most cards need to go up to the top ones here, one of these, to actually attack the enemy. There are a couple of artillery cards which can attack from the support line, but most of them need to actually make their way to the front line. So if you deploy them to the support line, they need a turn to actually move up to the front line because, well, they're deploying. This is kind of like the summoning sickness in Magic the Gathering. Whereas this guy is a parachute division, so I can just deploy them directly up there. And he's straight up and ready to attack, which is good. So you see these little red dots kind of thing here. This is your supply, so you have, or your action points. You have 3 action points. And the number in the middle here between the 5 and 3 means I can spend 2 action points to promote this unit and make it stronger. Now, if a promoted unit dies, it comes back in the same level of promotion than what it was before it died. So that's a good thing. But I'm going to actually get one of these out, and that's a Tiger 1. And it has an attack of 4, a health of 4, and it only costs 1 action point to promote. So this thing has a special ability, which is called Brutality. It's very fitting. So this means that when you're attacking, any damage that's exceeding the health of the card blocking this will actually be dealt to the player. So you can see I have a health of 80, the enemy player has a health of 50, and the win condition is to just defeat the enemy at this point. We don't have any turn limit. There are multiple different winning conditions. Sometimes it's don't kill the enemy. Destroy a certain number of a certain type of unit. And this can get really, really interesting to figure out how to do this. But in this case, we just need to kill him and obviously not die ourselves in the process. So I'm going to play the tiger. You see I played him to the support line, so the attack is crossed out because summoning sickness or is currently being deployed. But I still have an action point left, so I'm just going to promote this thing. And now we're up to 7 attack and 7 health. And we can end our turn with this big red button here. And our parachute people can just attack. And now you see they did 5 damage. So, okay, now the enemy is playing their things. And we see our tiger has been damaged because it's been shot at by something. They're shot back in return. They can defend when they're in the support line, and they can't attack. Now the tiger has moved forward, and but he only has 2 health left. So if I'm going to attack that airplane over there, what is that? That's a P-51. So if I'm going to attack that P-51, P-51 does 4 damage, I have 2 health left, I'm going to lose my tiger. Alternatively, I can promote him once more, because promoting these things actually restores their health. So now he's promoted to the full level, 10 points, and he's still got yeah, so I still got 1 action point left. So I can play another card. So let's play another tank, maybe. Because we need to do damage and we need to do it quickly. Let's play the Hetzer. Hetzer has well, I think it's a tier 3 in World of Tanks, but it's been a while. This thing gives deploy, so that moves everybody from the support line up to the front line, if there is anything. Well, there isn't, but it also includes the Hetzer himself. So if I play him over here, he goes straight up to the front line, so now I can attack. Now, my tiger is going to do 4 damage to the P-51, kill the P-51. Don't ask for the technicalities of how a tiger shoots down a P-51. But since he's having the brutality skill, he's going to do a 6 additional damage to the player. Now, my parachute people will kill that jeep over there, and that jeep will kill them because they've got kind of cross-match, and it'll still do 3 damage from the Hetzer, so let's do that. These 2 are dead, but I did 6 damage passing through. And now it's the opponent's turn. Okay. So he took out my Hetzer, and he played some form of tank, and he upgraded it, which is unpleasant. So that guy is an M4. M4 versus Tiger. We're playing Fury here. So he's got a Sherman, and he has an item equipped. So if we look at the item, there's a bazooka. So that'll do another damage. That'll destroy a rank 1 armored card in the same lane. Well, I'm a rank 3, so it can't hard me, but it still improves his stats. And that's not so nice. So we're going to equip something as well. We've got a what's that? A PAC 43. So an 88 millimeter anti-tank gun, and we can equip that to infantry or to armored cards. And at the start of the turn, deals 1 point of damage to all enemy armored cards. But since we're rank 3, that also is true for the equipment we get. So we do 3 points of damage. So that sounds nice. So let's equip that. Now our tiger is more powerful. And then we've got these dudes here, Brandenburgers, which are an infantry card, and it destroys an enemy rank 1 card when you're playing it. Well, that's neat. There's an enemy rank 1 card like there. It's that Sherman. So I'm just going to play these people, take out the Sherman, and I still got another point left. So let's get our parachute people back in, over here, and do 18 points of damage to him. Okay, what's he coming up next? He's deploying some parachutists by himself, of his own, and he brings the Sherman back in. Okay, which kills my Brandenburgers, but that's fine. I can just play them again. And this was the pack, was played against the Sherman, and it did 3 damage to him. I've got an Iron Cross, which I can attach to all German units. So I'm gonna stick that. I still have a slot free. I'm stick that on my tiger just because he's the most promoted. He's a rank 3, so he's gonna get the most benefit out of it. So now we got a 21-15 Tiger 1. We've still got our Brandenburgers. So we may as well. The Tiger 1 is brutality, so I'm just going to use them to kill that parachute people here. It's killed, and I still got an action point left. I could just there's an actual action card. This is a ghost attack. So for 1 supply, For cost of 1 supply, I can deal 4 points of damage to an enemy card. So I'm just going to kill that Sherman outright. Skadoosh. Sherman is gone. And now there's nobody to defend, and I'm going to do enough damage to kill that guy. So that should win me the round. And there we go. Victory! Alright. That's, in a nutshell, how this game works. I thoroughly enjoy this. It's fun to play. It works offline if you don't have internet around, just in campaign, obviously, but you can still play. And it's a nice little distraction sometimes when I'm frustrated with World of Warships, or when I don't have enough time, or I just want to do something different. And I really enjoy thinking about how these combinations work, building the decks, dealing with the different scenarios. So it's a nice little game. If you want to give it a try, feel free to do so. If you want me to do some more videos about it and talk more in detail about certain things, let me know as well. Otherwise, I might just throw one in at some point. And don't worry, this is not getting in the way of the regular Thursdays World of Warships Blitz videos. This is just something I'll throw in from time to time when I have time to make an additional video and I have an interesting game that I like playing. So that's it for today. I'll see you all next time. Bye.